guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you've been watching my videos for a long time, or if you know me in real life, you'll know that a very big part of my life is that I'm a middle distance athlete. I've been running for the past 10 years of my life, and I run like 1500, 3k, 5k and cross country, and I've had a reasonable amount of kind of success in my years of running. And I'm currently training 6 days a week, and so obviously that takes up quite a bit of time, because as well as training, then I have strength and conditioning and like recovery and things on top of that. So running is a very, very big part of my life, and the athletics community in Australia and in Western Australia is like something I'm a very big part of, and I love all the people in the community, and it's just like a very big part of my life. And I haven't really talked about running all that much on my YouTube channel because it has been mostly about studying, and I've found that anytime I upload a video that's not about studying, people just unsubscribe, which is kind of sad. But somebody commented on my video the other day asking if I could film a video talking about my training and what my sessions involve, and recovery and nutrition. So those were the three things: my sessions and then recovery and nutrition. And I could talk about running for hours. I could film like for 5 hours just talking about running. I love talking about it so much, and there are so many things I have to say. So I'm going to do 2 videos about this. So this video that you're watching right now is going to be about what my sessions involve, the different types of sessions I do throughout the week, because obviously there's 7 days in a week and I run on 6 of them. So I'm going to talk about the different sessions I do on each day and kind of the different general running sessions that there are for middle distance athletes. And then I'm going to film a part 2 to this video, which is going to be talking about nutrition and recovery, just because otherwise the video would be way too long, I think. I do want to film more running videos on this channel. I'm currently, this week, I am filming a video of a week in my training. So I'm like going through, like on every single day after training, oh, sorry about the lighting. We have a situation where the sun is going behind clouds and then not behind clouds, but just ignore that. Yeah, so this week I'm filming a video where after training each day I am turning on the camera, I'm just filming for a couple of minutes explaining what session I did that day. So I'm going to be uploading that video soon. But yeah, this is kind of just a video talking about what my sessions involve, and I'm just going to kind of explain the different middle distance running sessions that I do and that you can do, and the kind of groups that they fall into. So I've got a list here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the first session kind of group is what I'm going to call track reps. So these are reps that you do on a track. It doesn't have to be a tartan track, it can be a grass track. My squad always trains on the grass track just because it's a lot better for your knees and joints and ligaments, and like just a lot better for your body, because it's like more springy and it's less, I don't know, it's just better for your body to run on grass generally. So my group always trains on a grass track, but track reps are reps that are done on like a 400 meter track, and they can be any distance. Normally mine are somewhere between 1 kilometer and 200 meters, but I have done reps as long as like a mile on the track, which is 4 laps. So literally 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 800, 1k, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, like any of those distances could be in a track rep session. So a session can involve either just doing one of these distances and doing reps of that distance, or you can mix it up with the distances. And the sessions can also either have an active recovery where you're jogging, or a static recovery where you're standing still. So with like the different distances, examples of sessions, if you just did one distance, you might do like 5 or 6 800s. Or you might do 10 300s or 10 200s, or you might do 3 1600s. Or if you mix up the distances, you could do a session where you go 800, 600, 500, 400, 300, 200. Or you could do a session where you go 1k, then a 400, then a 1k, then a 400. Or you could do a session where you go like 400, 300, 200, 400, 300, 200. Or you could do a session where you go a mile and then do like 4 500s. Like, you can literally have any combination, and I think that's fantastic. And I think what you should do is almost never do any session twice, because there's so many different combinations. There's like infinite combinations of sessions you can come up with mixing all the different distances, and I think it's great to always mix it up and always be doing different sessions. And like most of the coaches I've trained with pretty much do, like they repeat the same sessions, which is okay, but I think it's really much more exciting to kind of mix it up and do different things, because there are so many different sessions you can do. So yeah, you can do like any combination of those, and then with either active or static recovery. So you could do like a fartlek session on the track. So a session we do quite often at training is 200 on, 200 off. So that's where you do a fast 200 and then your recovery is jogging 200, and then you go straight into another fast 200, jog 200. And sometimes we'll do like 4 lots of that and then have like walking a lap. So we'll do like 4 laps of 2 on, 2 off, and then walk a lap, and then another 4 sets, something like that. But walking is still technically active recovery, so you can also have static recovery where you do a rep and then you just stop and stand still. Personally, I don't like doing that, so quite often at training we do sessions with static recovery, but whenever I have static recovery, I'm always kind of like jogging on the spot or doing high knees on the spot or something, because I like to keep moving, because otherwise I find my muscles get very tight, and I find that if I stop and stand still, then when I start running again, they're really tight, and I have a higher risk of injury if I don't like keep moving in the recovery. But yes, you can have either like running recovery, so you can have recovery where you're jogging, or you can have recovery where you're walking, or you can have recovery where you're standing still. And you can see if you mix up those recoveries with the already like infinite combinations of different ways you can mix up the distances, you can come up with so many different sessions, and I think that's so exciting. I actually love like writing sessions and planning sessions, even though I never do them myself because I like train with a coach who writes my program for me. But I like just making up sessions and thinking about sessions, and I would love to write people like a training program. So if you're watching this video and you want me to write you a training program, like please get in touch, because I I would literally I write training programs in my spare time. I just find it so interesting. Yeah. Anyway, so wait. It always, whenever I'm filming, I always like hear someone coming into my house. It's really strange. What was I saying? Oh yeah, with track reps. Okay, so you're often trying to do them at a certain pace. So if I was doing a session of 300s, I might be trying to do each 300 at 1500 meter pace, or I might be trying to do 200s at 800 pace, or I might be trying to do 500s at 3k pace. And that is to teach you to to teach your body to know what it feels like to run at that pace. So like my 1500 meter pace is the pace that I'm aiming to run a 1500 at. So at the moment that's around 4:30 for a 1500. So I will try and do my 300s at the pace, at the correct pace that will give me a 4:30 1500, and that teaches my body to know what that pace feels like, to know how fast it is. It teaches my body to run at that pace, so then when I get into a race I'm able to hopefully get that time. So yeah, often like track reps you'll be aiming to get a certain race pace. Okay, next session is tempo runs. So tempo runs are basically anywhere between, I kind of do them anywhere between 5 and 12 minutes, where I run at a pace that is a very strong pace. So it's a strong pace, I'm pushing it, but it's just below where I'm going to go into lactic, so you don't go into lactic. Like I said, these reps are between 5 and 12 minutes, and I will do a certain number of reps depending on the length of the rep. So if they are 5-minute reps, I might do 4 of them. If they're 10-minute reps, I might do 2 of them. And yeah, it's basically running at that pace just below where you're going into lactic. So that's obviously going to be different for everyone, because everyone is a different speed, and so where everyone goes into lactic is different. And if you don't know what going into lactic is, I don't know how to explain it. Like lactic when I talk about lactic, it's like lactic acid. So you know when you're in a race, you get like a buildup of lactic acid in your muscles, and then you get that feeling where they're like go all like jelly and you feel like you can't run properly and you're just like so that that always happens in a race. You always, or no, it doesn't always happen, but it should happen towards the end of a race. You go into lactic because some chemical reaction has been happening in your muscles, and you know, you've been running hard and you go into lactic in the last bit of a race. So sometimes in a training session you do want to be going into lactic, but not in tempo runs. So you're running at a level that is just under where you go into lactic, and yeah, you do reps. Normally for me, the time of the reps will add up to like 20 minutes. So if I did 10-minute reps, I would do 2 of them. If I did 5-minute reps, I'd do 4 of them. But you can like vary that. You could have them add up to 15 minutes, or you could have them add up to like 25 minutes. It just depends on like a bunch of things. But yeah, so those are tempo runs. The next session I'm going to talk about is steady runs. So for me, this is anywhere between 4 and 8 kilometers, where I'm running at a pace a bit slower than tempo. And I'm trying to maintain that pace. So yeah, in tempo runs as well, just going back to that for a second, you run at a certain pace and you try to maintain that pace throughout the rep, and then also throughout all of the reps. So you try and maintain the same pace throughout all of the reps, and obviously in the first rep it's easier to maintain the pace and it gets harder and harder as you go on, so you have to like work harder as you go through the session to maintain the same pace. But it should try to be like a pretty consistent pace, a pretty steady pace, which is why I call why I think people call like steady runs is because you're running for like 4 to 8 kilometers, anywhere in that range. For me, that's like the range that I do. And you're trying to keep it at a steady pace for a fairly long like time, because like 8 kilometers is quite long. So the kind of pace for steady runs is, like I said, a step below tempo pace. So if you've got tempo pace here, then steady pace is just like, so like 10 to 15 seconds per kilometer slower, I think, or like 10 to 20 seconds per kilometer slower. And again, it will depend, like the pace that you're running for your steady run will depend on the distance. So like I said, for me, I do anywhere between 4 and 8 kilometers. So I'll be running at a faster pace, a faster steady pace for a 4 kilometer steady than I would be for an 8 kilometer steady. And that's what's really good, is to mix it up with the different distances and paces, because sometimes you want to do a faster 4 kilometer steady, other times you want to do a slower 7 kilometer steady or 8 kilometer steady, because you just want to mix it up with your training so you're not getting used to doing the same thing, and so your body is learning to run under like a range of different paces and distances. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, my camera battery died. My camera battery is dodgy and I only have one, so if it dies then I have to just stop filming and wait like half an hour for it to charge. So anyway, what were we talking about? I think we were talking about steady runs. Yeah, so basically between I feel like I'm just going to repeat all the information again. So yeah, like 4 to 8 kilometers pace, just below tempo pace, and I do them. I'm gonna, at the end of this video, I'm gonna get all the sessions and say like when I do them throughout the week. But yeah, I do steady runs once a week normally, sometimes twice, and I just think they're a really, really good, they just give you that good level of endurance at a bit of a higher pace, and to teach your body to run for a sustained period of time at a higher pace than if you were just like going for an aerobic run, which is like not as fast. So okay, moving on to fartlek. Okay, so like I mentioned in like my track reps session at the start of the videos, sometimes in my track rep sessions we do a fartlek, like a 400 fartlek or a 200 fartlek. But apart from that, I also do fartleks not on the track, so I just do them around the park, or like around wherever I'm running, around the streets, around anywhere. So the most common fartlek sessions that I do are the 1-to-1 fartlek, which is 1 minute on and then 1 minute off. So the on is where you go fast and the off is where you go slower. Not like jogging really slowly, but just not as fast. And you can like also with your fartlek sessions, you can vary how strong and how not strong you're going. So you can go really, really strong and then really slow, which is generally what I would do in a track rep session. But if I'm doing a fartlek around the park, or I'm like on a not track rep session, like a 1-to-1 fartlek, or the other fartlek that I also do, I'll say that in a minute, but you can do your fast bit like really fast, or you can do it slightly less fast, and you can do your slow bit really slow, or you can do it not as slow, so you can have like more of a change of pace or less of a change of pace, depending on what you're trying to get out of the session. But yeah, so I do a 1-to-1 fartlek, which is 1 minute on, 1 minute off. And the other fartlek I do quite often is a Mona fartlek, and I'm pretty sure this is named after Steve Monaghetti, because Mona, I'm pretty sure that's who it's named after. And basically, if you look it up online, but it's, I think, I haven't done it for ages. I used to do it quite often. It's like 90 seconds on, 90 seconds off, 90 seconds on, 90 seconds off, minute on, minute off, minute on, minute off, minute on, minute off, minute on, minute off, then 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off 4 times, and then 15 seconds on, 15 seconds off 4 times. So like 2 lots of 90 on, 90 off, 4 lots of a minute on, a minute off, 4 lots of 30, 30, and then 4 lots of 15, 15. I think that's what it is. Altogether, it takes 20 minutes. So that's a really nice short session where you are varying up the times that you're going fast and slow for. And I think that's a really good session. And if you wanted like a longer fartlek, you could do that twice. Or if you wanted a shorter fartlek, you could halve it. So I think that's a really good one to do. And then other fartlek I do is like a 1 minute on, 2 minutes off, or 2 minutes on, 1 minute off, or just like varying up. Sometimes even like I do a 3 minutes, like 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, whatever. Like just varying it up, I think is good, because it teaches your body to, because that's what you're gonna have to do in a race. Like if you're doing a 3K race, you might have to run fast, fast for like a bit, and then slow for a little bit, and then fast for a longer bit, and then slow for a shorter bit, and then fast for a shorter bit, and slow for a long, like, and varying that pace. Yeah, just learning to vary a pace for different lengths of time, I think is good. Okay, next session is long runs. So every middle distance, long distance runner will know about the Sunday long run. Long runs are generally done on a Sunday because it's the end of the week, and they're kind of used as a little bit of a recovery, but also just as a good like endurance thing. And I don't know, long runs are just good. Everyone does them. You have to do long runs. So yeah, once a week, no more than once a week. I'd never do a long run more than once a week. Mine are normally between 12 and 16 kilometers, and so they're normally about 14 kilometers. And that is basically, I just run it. My pace varies drastically depending on how I'm feeling, and if I've done a hard race that week, or hard training sessions, or if I haven't. So yeah, I could run it at any pace. If I'm feeling good on a long run, I will try to push it along a little bit and try to, like, you know, get some huff and puff in there. But if I'm feeling really bad, then I'll just take it a bit more slowly and just listening to your body. And it's yeah, good to just kind of like run your legs out at the end of the week. Yeah, so long runs always are good, and I like to do them on varied terrain. So sometimes I do them like through hills, sometimes I do them like not in hills, you know. I just like to change up my route. It is definitely good to try and do your long runs with other people if you can, just because it's much better to have company to run with. I often at the moment actually I'm just doing long runs by myself, because my squad trains like a 45-minute drive, 45-minute drive from my house, just because I used to live up there and now I don't. But yeah, so I'm still training with them. But long runs in Perth, especially in the summer, we do them quite early in the morning because it gets so hot, and I just have to wake up so early on a Sunday morning to get down there to my squad. And also in my running squad at the moment, I kind of don't really have that many people to run with, because there's like a group of younger girls and then a group of older boys, and I'm in the middle. And so I kind of do my sessions sometimes like with the boys, but like their long runs are a bit too fast for me. But I want to kind of go faster, a little bit faster than most of the girls, because they're younger than me, so they're like not as fast at long runs. They're pretty fast, but for like longer runs I do go a bit faster. So yeah, there's pretty much no point in me waking up early to go down there because I probably wouldn't have anyone to run with anyway. And also, like, I would, if I lived closer, I would definitely go down and run with them because it's good to have people to run with. But because I live so far away and there's not anyone there who's like exactly my pace, I just don't wake up. I can let myself sleep in for 45 minutes longer and then I go for a long run closer to home. So yeah, varying up your terrain on your long run from week to week I think is good. And if you can run with people, then that's a good idea because it is a long way. And I don't listen to music when I run either because I just can't have something in my ears or holding something. Like, I can't even hold my phone when I'm running. I cannot, not even like if I have to go for a run with the house keys so I can get back into the house. Like, I hate having anything on me when I run. So I just like run for over an hour just by myself with no music, and I don't get bored at all. I'm someone who, like, I quite enjoy my own company, which I guess is a good thing, but I don't get bored just running with nothing. Like, I don't get bored. I have heaps of things to think about, and because I'm running, like, and I try and run in different places, I'm seeing different things, and I don't know, I don't get bored. But I get so many people saying, how do you not get bored? Like, I would get so bored. So yeah, if for most people it's probably good to run with other people, and also, like, it also makes it a lot more fun. Like, if I had someone to run with, I would want to run with them, but I'm just saying I don't have a problem running by myself. I'd prefer to run with someone else, but I can also, like, I'm fine to run by myself, whereas other people, like, say that they would find it really, really hard to run by themselves. So yeah, if you want to run with people, I think that's a good idea. Okay, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Okay, the sixth, that's a really hard word to say, sixth. The last session I'm going to talk about is aerobic / hill running. So aerobic runs are runs that you just do. They are, you know how I said, like, you've got your tempo pace, then your steady pace, then your aerobic pace. So your aerobic pace is the pace below anaerobic. So in a steady and a tempo, I'm guessing you go into anaerobic. I'm not going to be able to explain aerobic and anaerobic, but maybe just Google them because I don't know enough about them to explain them. But basically aerobic runs is just below anaerobic, which is like, so if you've got like tempo and then steady, aerobic is another step down from that. And that's kind of, yeah, that's just like, if you're doing an aerobic run, it's anywhere between a steady and a long run. So I said, like, a steady is 4 to 8 kilometers and a long run is 12 to 16 kilometers. So in between there, from the end of the steady at 8 kilometers to the start of the long run at 12 kilometers, anywhere in there is like an aerobic run. And so that's the distance that would be an aerobic run, and I just do that at like an aerobic pace, which is below steady pace basically. And often I quite like to incorporate hill running into my aerobic runs. So I like to do my aerobic runs through hills, especially if I'm not feeling very fast on a day. I like to go and just run through hills because then I feel like even if I'm not going very fast, it's still benefiting me because my legs are getting stronger from going through the hills. And there's lots of like different sessions you can do. I think hill running is really, really good. So like running through hills, and you can do lots of different sessions through hills. Like you can sprint up the hill and then walk back down or jog back down. So you could do like a session like that, or you can do, yeah, an aerobic run in hills or a long run in hills, or even like a fartlek in hills. I think hill running is good to incorporate into your program. Yeah. Cool, my camera battery is flashing, so I better stop talking because I don't want to have to wait to charge it again, even though I need to film another video now. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up. So the 6 type of sessions to recap: track reps, tempo runs, steady runs, fartlek, long runs, aerobic runs, and then you've got like hill running, which is just like a general good thing to do for any of those runs. So yeah, oh, I was going to talk about when I do them each week. So I will do, basically I do one of them each week. Yeah, I'll pretty much do one of those sessions each week because there's 7 days in a week and I run on 6 days and there's 6 sessions there. So I pretty much do one of those sessions each day of the week. If I've got a race on the session I won't do is a fartlek. I normally cut the fartlek out if I've got a race on one of those days, so that will take off the fartlek. But yeah. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed listening to me chat about running, and I hope it's given you some insight into the type of sessions that I do and what's involved in my sessions as a 17-year-old middle distance athlete. And like I said, if you are interested in like talking to me more about, or possibly like me even writing you a program or something, I'm happy to do that. So get in contact with me. You can DM me on Instagram at tia.chitty or email me. My link will be in the description box down below. Yeah, I love running so much, so I'm happy to give you more information about any of my sessions or training programs or whatever if you would like. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below for more running videos. Yeah, I've got so many running videos I want to film, and I'm also just about to film my video on recovery and nutrition as an athlete, so that video will be coming out hopefully very, very soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.